My name is Rick Crawford. I serve in the U.S. House of Representatives, represent Arkansas's 1st Congressional District.
Mike Bost, Illinois 12th District, ranking member of the Veterans Affairs Committee.
Congressman Bill Johnson, I represent the 6th Congressional District, which covers nearly all of eastern and southeastern Ohio.
I'm Dr. James R. Baird, and I represent Indiana's 4th Congressional District.
I served in the United States Army, served from 1985 to 1989.
United States Marine Corps is where I served.
I served for almost 27 years in the United States Air Force.
I served in the United States Army.
I was stationed in Pennsylvania, Fort Indiantown Gap, served in the 56th Ordnance Detachment, EOD, Explosive Ordnance Disposal, so I was an Army bomb tech. Served in a variety of capacities, civilian law enforcement, support, Secret Service, obviously the installation support mission where we're supporting troops and their training exercises, and was deployed one time to Pakistan.
I was enlisted in the Marine Corps on December 4th, 1979. I served until December 4th of 1982. I went to San Diego for boot camp and Pendleton for infantry training school. From there to 29 Palms, California, where I was trained in CNA schools as an electronic specialist, radar repairman, to work on the ANTPS 32 radar. Was then stationed in Yuma, Arizona with Marine Air Control Squadron 7, part of 7th MAB.
Oh my goodness, that's a long list. I served from January of 1973 through July of 1999, just a few months shy of 27 years. But I was all over the United States.
I completed Officers Candidate School at Fort Benning and eventually went to the Republic of Southeast Asia, Vietnam, in 1970 and 71.
Veterans Day, when I think about Veterans Day, I think about my dad, who was a veteran, served in Vietnam. He was a career military officer, 24 years of service. I think about my granddad, who was a cook in World War II, who cooked for POWs, German POWs. I think about my uncle, who also was a paratrooper in Vietnam. I think about another uncle who served in the Korean War. I think about a variety of my family members, my brother who served in the Navy, my other brother who served in the Air Force. My whole family has a tradition of military service, and when I think of Veterans Day, all these sort of images pop into my head.
Veterans Day means a tremendous amount to me because, one, I am the grandson of a veteran, son of a veteran, nephew of veterans. My son serves as well, and my grandson serves. The veterans are a group that either have answered the call when it came, volunteered at times, drafted at times, but all serve this nation to make sure that it remains free. Our veterans must be celebrated, must be thanked, regardless of where they served and how they served. And we want to thank them, and Veterans Day is a very important day.
There's one segment of our society that deserves the gratitude of the American people, and that's our brave men and women, both past, present, and those that will serve in the future, for the sacrifices that they and their families put out to protect and defend our freedoms. A little over 1.3 million Americans have died for the cause of freedom in our country. And for the most part, we're an all-volunteer force today. And I am amazed that young people still line up to go into military service and to represent the greatest nation on the planet. Remember, America stands guardian at the gate of freedom. If it were not for America, terrorists countries like China, Iran, Russia, North Korea, they would have their way around the globe. It's America that stands in the gap for freedom-loving people all over the globe. And it's veterans that deserve that gratitude because they are the ones that have protected our freedom.
To me, Veterans Day is a national holiday that allows all Americans the opportunity to express appreciation to all the men and women who have worn the uniform of the United States Armed Forces.
One of the things that I've observed over the years serving in Congress and working for and representing a rural district is the disproportionate number of Americans that come from small towns across America. What I mean by that is, as an example, I was in a small town in Arkansas, Marshall, Arkansas, on a Veterans Day for a memorial service, and they have their monument on the square with all the names going all the way back to World War I. Unbelievable amount of people on these monuments given the fact that it's such a small town. But that's consistent throughout the district and small towns around the district, and that's consistent throughout rural America. Small towns make a disproportionate contribution to the security of this nation because so many of our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines come from small town America across rural parts of the country.
My time in service, one, took a young man who had his hair too long and attitude, and by serving, that attitude was adjusted. It gave me a focus and an understanding of how important it is to be of service, not only to the country, but your neighbors and friends, and probably why I do what I do today.
I fell in love with our country in a way that's hard to explain. I came from rural America. I lived so far on the other side of the tracks that you couldn't hear the whistle blow when the train went by. We had to add more O's to the word poor. We farmed with mules up until I was about 13 years old. No indoor plumbing. We cooked and heated on two big old black pot-bellied stoves. Every day was a survival day. You got up before the sun rose. You went to bed long after the sun went down because there was a lot to do to put food up, to prepare the crops, to feed the animals and the livestock, and to maintain that little farm that I was raised on. So I know what the challenges are that rural Americans face, and I can relate to that. So when and that informs the work that I do here in Congress. When I hear and I learn, for example, that policies are driving up the cost of heating fuel, of natural gas and coal, and that the American people's electric bills could go up by in excess of 15% this winter. That concerns me, and because I can relate to that. I know what it feels like to do without, and I know what it feels like to have to get up every day not knowing where food was coming from, but knowing you had to make it happen if you were going to survive. So it informs the way that I do my job here in Congress, and I think I wouldn't take $1 million for that upbringing either.
My military experience contributed significantly to my character and personal development. The leadership training, including the ability to function in combat, has enhanced my ability to remain focused on the issues important to the people of rural America during the legislative process. My love for America has emboldened my desire to preserve those freedoms we hold so dear. God bless America.